everyone, my name is Marie, welcome to my channel and welcome to another speed build. So for today's video, I'm back with another one pack only build, and as you can probably already tell since I'm building in an apartment, today I'm building with only base game and city living. So yeah, for today's video, I'm doing an apartment renovation in the city of Simmarysims, which is the world that came with city living, and obviously, as we all know, city living introduced apartments. So for this video, I just thought it would be fitting to do an apartment renovation. And so yeah, that's what I did. I was debating whether or not I should do like a community lot instead of a residential apartment, because I mean, community lots are very useful, especially for like one pack only builds. They're just very easy to download, very nice and usable. So I was debating whether or not I should do like a karaoke bar or something. But then I decided, you know what? No, I'm going to do an apartment since City Living is the pack that introduced apartments to the game. So yeah, it was only fitting to just sit down and do an apartment. So what I did do, however, is I picked an apartment that I have never in my life ever renovated before. And there is a reason for that. You can see that I am renovating number 9 of the land grab apartments, and I've never renovated the land grab apartments before. This is a very high-rise, modern, luxury building, in my opinion. That is what it feels like to me, at least. It has large windows, and this one especially is more of like a lofty sort of apartment. The game has like, when you first load into this apartment and when you look at the floor plan, it is definitely a loft look and feel like type of apartment. So that's what I stuck with. I also turned it into a loft. It has a lot of very large windows. It has the most amazing view over the city, but I never renovate the land grab apartments, for one, because it is these apartments are 2-story apartments, and 2-story apartments, in my opinion, I just find them so difficult to come up or to create floor plans for. And so this one was definitely a struggle and a half. This one also is the shape of it is very wonky, very strange. It has a couple of very like annoying diagonal walls that are difficult to work with. Especially the shape of the entryway is extremely weird and difficult to work with. And I, for the life of me, was struggling for the longest time for the floor plan for this one. Eventually it came together, and I'm really happy with how the floor plan turned out. But let me just tell you, as much as I'm enjoying how this apartment came out, it was definitely a struggle. Like, not only the floor plan, the whole color scheme and layout and everything. It was such a struggle for me, this one. Usually with one pack only builds, they come together quite naturally because I don't have as many things and furniture pieces and styles to pick from. The game just kind of decides it for me. And for this one, that was not really the case, and I don't know why. It was definitely a struggle for this one. Like, I was having a lot of fun with it eventually, but I was also like at some times just really frustrated, and I just needed to close out of the game for a second and do something else and come back to it later, because I was just getting so frustrated because I didn't know what to do with the color scheme and stuff like that. Because the thing is, City Living comes with a whole bunch of very modern and luxury looking items, and also very colorful items. So I knew from the get-go that I wanted to somehow incorporate colors for this build, but it wasn't really agreeing with me for some reason. You can see that I went for a bright white kitchen, and then black and white and gray chairs and a table and stuff that I was fiddling around with that I ended up deleting and then placing back later. Like, it was just a whole thing. And then for some reason, I decided to later on just stick with more neutral tones for the shared areas of this apartment. So like for the kitchen, living, dining, bathroom, that sort of situation. And then for the bedrooms, I was actually experimenting with colors a little bit more. So the bedrooms are definitely a lot more colorful, which actually turned out to be a nice thing to have, like that contrast between the bedrooms and the main areas of the apartment. It's nice that the main areas are a little bit more, I don't know how to call it, a little bit more generic in a sense. And then the bedrooms are definitely a little bit more personalized, more colorful, more adjusted to that specific Sim's taste, I guess. So yeah, that's what I ended up doing. And I do really like how it turned out in the end. However, it was definitely a struggle and a half for this apartment. I mean, like I already said, there are a couple of apartment buildings that I just actively avoid, that I never ever renovate. And the land grab apartments, this building is definitely one of those. Because, well, like I already said, the shape, it has a lot of like weird diagonal walls and it's just really difficult to work with. But however, this apartment, I turned it into a loft, a luxury loft. You can't really tell from the main floor of the apartment, but you can see that the second story of this apartment is definitely a loft look and feel. And it has like this beautiful view of the city and it's just so pretty and so gorgeous. Like, I love this apartment. I think, don't get me wrong, I think it's very beautiful. I love that it has like all these windows and whatnot. It's so open and airy and it's just wonderful. But at the same time, that also makes it kind of difficult to work with. But yeah, I actually ended up furnishing this apartment for 3 friends. So this apartment might be a little bit excessive for 3 Sims. I do get that. But I, for this one, just really wanted to let go of the whole like realistic aspect. And I was just thinking that 3 friends, 3 young adults are sharing this apartment. And for the storylines for these Sims, I really wanted to try and focus on the careers that came with city living. So I decorated this apartment for a food critic, for a politician, and for a Sim who's in the social media career. Those 3 careers came with this game. For the critic career, you have the art critic as well as the food critic. And I decided to go for a food critic for this apartment. Then for social media, you have the online personality branch, but you also have the public relations branch. And I was more so thinking of this Sim being in the public relations branch. However, they are at the same time probably also somewhat of a internet personality. Like, they work in social media, so I was thinking that their own like Simstagram and stuff like that are very like up to date and they're very active on social media. So they are somewhat of a internet personality as well. So they make a little bit of money that way too. But I feel like they're also in public relations where they, you know, just really work on the whole social media aspect for a lot of different companies and stuff like that, and they are very successful in that sense. And then for the 3rd roommate or best friend living in this apartment, I was thinking they are a politician. So for the politics career, I think you have like the actual politician branch as well as the charity organizer branch, if I'm not mistaken, where you do a bit more like work for charities and stuff like that instead of being an actual politician. But I was thinking of this Sim as doing both for now. They are probably choosing the politician branch eventually. And I was thinking also that I was thinking of her as a girl, as a woman, and I was thinking that someday she is probably going to become president. So she is very ambitious, very successful, and she stands for a lot of different things, and she really fights for a better world, for a better environment. She really tries to stand up for the people living in the city, for the minorities, stuff like that. She like definitely organizes demonstrations and stuff like that is what I was thinking. But eventually she will go with the politician branch of the career and she will become very successful. And like I said, probably like president one day. So yeah, for the politician, I was thinking of her as a woman. Then for the social media career Sim, I was thinking of her as a woman as well. And then for the food critic, I was thinking of him as a guy Sim. So there are 3 best friends living in this apartment. And I was thinking that they could be like in their late 20s, early 30s, very career driven. And they just really, really love city life. Like, don't ask me how they would be able to afford an apartment like this. I mean, like I said, they are very career driven. They probably are very successful and they definitely make a good amount of money, the 3 of them together, especially. But still, like an apartment like this, a loft apartment, luxury loft sort of thing like this, I feel like you would need to be a millionaire to be able to afford this. But this is The Sims, so we don't really have to think about it in that sense. So yeah, I just decided to embrace that. And I was just imagining that they could afford this apartment with the 3 of them. However, they do have very spacious bedrooms, all of them. So they could actually be living here with their partners as well. But I was thinking like at this point, it's just the 3 of them in this apartment living together, having fun in the city. But if you decide to go with this storyline, or if you don't decide to go with the storyline, I was just thinking that there is room for their partners, their boyfriends, girlfriends, what have you, to move in here and share the bedroom, because there is definitely more than enough space in this apartment and in their individual bedrooms as well. So you could end up living in this apartment with 6 Sims, like 3 couples if you wanted to. You could obviously also turn a couple of the bedrooms into shared bedrooms with just single beds, but then you would just need to rearrange a couple of things. But it's definitely doable. It's definitely possible as well. And then for the hallway, oh my gosh, I was struggling with this hallway. I ended up going back to it later and changing a couple things around, and I did not record that. But the hallway, I wasn't proud of it. It was not my best moment, but that was also because the shape of it is so incredibly wonky and weird. So it was just a little bit difficult to make it into a good looking hallway. And then off of the hallway, we have 2 bathrooms. I know 2 is a little bit excessive. I initially wanted to make one of the bathrooms, like the smaller one that I eventually turned into a half bath. I wanted to turn that into the laundry room, but then I realized I don't have a laundry day. I have only city living to work with for this build. So yeah, I just decided to turn it into a half bathroom. So we have 2 full bathrooms, which this large downstairs bathroom is definitely the biggest one. This one is quite luxurious. It has a very luxurious tub and a nice shower and a sink. It's just very spacious. And then the talking toilet as well, which I thought was fun. That one came with city living as well. And then we also have a half bathroom downstairs. And I was struggling with this bathroom a lot as well. You can see that I was shuffling things around. I mean, the shape of this bathroom, once again, is really weird and really wonky, and I really tried my best. I mean, do I like how this bathroom ended up looking? I don't know. I'm not necessarily very proud of it. It's not my best work. It's not the best bedroom I have, or bathroom I have ever done, but it's okay, and it definitely works. And it does feel luxurious. Like you can take a nice bath, like a bubble bath, and then enjoy the view over the city, because this is a very high-rise apartment, like a very high-rise building. So I was definitely having fun with that. But yeah, the only bathroom that I actually recorded is that large one downstairs. And then I was so over the bathrooms that I just quickly stopped recording and furnished the other 2 bathrooms off camera before going back to recording, because the bathrooms, I was not having fun with them. They were frustrating to me a little bit, and that was a little bit annoying. But yeah, we have 1 bedroom downstairs, and then the other 2 bedrooms are on the 2nd floor of this apartment. So this is definitely the smallest bedroom, but I do really like it. Once again, this one has like a weird shape because, like I already said 1,000 times, there are a lot of diagonal walls throughout this apartment, and I don't know why. I don't know why they did that, but it's just how it is. So yeah, this apartment, or this bedroom, has a weird diagonal wall, but it actually ended up making a lot of sense. I could place the bed against that wall and it feels really spacious and nice. But yeah, this bedroom is definitely the smallest one, and I furnished this one for the food critic. I was thinking that they don't care as much about having a large, spacious bedroom as long as they have enough space for their bed and for a nice little desk setup, so that they at least have somewhat of a nice little office in here. But I was feeling like this sim, they don't work from home all the time. They probably go into an office or something. Maybe they rent like some sort of office space somewhere. But I was thinking that they are definitely a freelance food critic. So they probably like write a lot of articles on different restaurants. And I was also thinking that because this sim is so into food, he also really, really likes cooking. So I feel like he is the one that utilizes the kitchen, the large, spacious kitchen, all the time. He loves to cook for his roommates and for his friends. And I was definitely thinking of these 3 roommates or 3 best friends as being very outgoing. They love their city life. They love going to parties, to the karaoke bars. They love having parties in this apartment because their apartment is obviously very big. So they love organizing parties in here and just hanging out with friends. They're just very socially active and very outgoing. They love city life. So this sim is just, they don't really care that much about having a very big bedroom. as long as it's just nice and as long as they have space for a nice double bed and a desk, then they're happy. But you can see that I was definitely starting to experiment with colors a little bit in that first bedroom. It's very yellow and green and blue, and I love how it turned out. I don't know if it's my favorite. I think the second bedroom that I furnished for the politician, I think that one is my actual favorite. But I like the small one downstairs as well. And then after that first bedroom, I moved on to the landing area. And the landing area is a pretty nice and special area because up here you have the beautiful view over the city. You can't really see it from this angle, but yeah, you have that wonderful view with like the double story windows, and it's really, really amazing. So I just tried to turn this into sort of like a second living area situation. So I placed a couple of those love seats together with the high-rise back, if you will. Those are from City Living, and I placed a couple of those next to each other to kind of make it look like a sectional, and a nice bookcase and a coffee table, and then a couple of additional chairs. I was at first thinking of placing a bar on the landing because a bar up here would be super nice. Like that would actually be the perfect spot for it, but it was just looking a little bit too excessive. I tried it, I didn't record it, and then I decided to not go with it because it was just a little bit too overwhelming and a little bit too, I don't really know how to explain it, but it was just a little bit too excessive. So I decided not to go with it and just go for a nice second seating area, or like second living area, if you will. Without a TV. So if people are watching TV downstairs, you can just come up here and like read a book, have a little bit of privacy, or just a little bit of more like quiet time if you wanted to. So I feel like that would be nice. However, if you wanted to place like a karaoke machine or a bar up here, you could definitely go ahead and do so. I was thinking about it, but then I decided not to go with it. And I'm really happy because I do like how the landing area turned out. I think it's very nice. And then for the second bedroom, I decided to go with this rug from City Living. I never, ever use this rug. I don't think I have ever used this rug in my life, especially not in this swatch. And I came across it because it is from City Living. So naturally I came across it and I decided to base this bedroom off of this swatch of the rug. So it's very red and orange, and it's a color scheme I never go for. So I was struggling. I was trying to combine it with white and gray and black. And then in the end, I was not happy with it. So you can see that at some point, you can see that I swapped around a lot of the colors. I decided to just embrace the colorfulness of it all and combine it with some more like bold colors instead of just the neutrals. So I decided to go for some teal colors and some bright pink and bright blue, stuff like that. You will see that a little bit later on. But as of right now, you can see it come together. This bedroom is a lot bigger than the one downstairs, and this one I furnished for the politician. So I gave her a nice desk setup, and I also gave her a TV because I was just thinking that she would probably turn on the TV when she's working in here, like watching the news, that sort of thing. I don't really know. I just felt like a TV for her would be appropriate. And yeah, I just, you can really see that I was trying to make it look colorful, but still make it look good. And then this is the point where I actually swapped around some of the colors. So you can see that I used that little ottoman, that little poof chair in that teal color, and then I placed a very bright and colorful chair next to the TV. I actually also changed the color of her nightstand to a rich pink magenta sort of color. I don't really know how to explain it. And then I also gave her these, I merged together a couple of those wardrobes, those base game wardrobes, in white, and then I actually placed another, like a little side table next to it. I kind of merged that with the dressers or the wardrobes as well. And I picked the teal color for that one as well. So I feel like teal goes really nicely with this color scheme. So I'm really happy that I did that. And then for the rest, I just placed some posters around, and then also a couple of those demonstration boards. Is that what you call them? Demonstration boards? I'm not sure, but you probably know what I mean though. Those little boards, I feel like she just placed them on the wall for display, but also because she used them recently, probably to like demonstrate for causes that she thinks are very important. She probably also likes gaming, is what I was thinking. She likes to game in her free time, so I gave her a nice little gaming console as well. But yeah, you can really see that this bedroom turned out to be a lot more colorful than the rest of the house, and I'm really happy with that. So this bedroom is definitely my favorite because City Living did come with these wonderful colors, like these very pretty colored furniture pieces that I don't use as much. Like, I like City Living, but I don't really ever grab the furniture that comes from this pack. I do use that 4-poster bed from time to time, and there are some more like little knickknacks that I will use, but for the rest, I don't know. I came across a lot of items that I just never use, especially in the colorful swatches. So this apartment in that sense was a little bit of a struggle, because for other packs, like for example, I know that I use a lot of stuff from Cats and Dogs all the time. I use a lot of stuff from from Cottage Living, or for example, from Cats and Dogs. Like, those are just packs that I know I use a lot of furniture pieces from all the time. So I don't see myself really struggling with a 1-pack build for those packs. But for City Living, that was just a little bit different. I don't know why, but it was definitely a little bit more difficult for me this time. However, it did definitely require me to just step out of my comfort zone for a second, and I'm really thankful for that. So yeah, I'm really happy with how this build turned out eventually. But you can see that this last bedroom is the bedroom for the social media sim. This bedroom, once again, is also very, very colorful. I use the blue and green curtains, and then I combine it with that like rich red, almost sort of pinky toned color on the wall. And I think that is just very, very pretty. It's definitely a bold combination, but I feel like it looks really, really nice. And then I use this rug from Base Game in a green swatch as well. So this bedroom is definitely a little bit more on the bold side of things. However, I do really like it. And then I was thinking that the sim is, in their free time, they really, really enjoy painting. So I gave them an easel in here, and I placed that colorful little painting on the wall, or it's not little, it's actually quite large. That one came from City Living as well. And it comes in a lot of different cool swatches that you don't really ever come across if you don't look for it, because you can't see them from the catalog because they're kind of like hidden swatches, if you will. So I always forget that they exist. But I loved using this painting in here. I also used a different swatch in the downstairs bedroom as well that I really, really enjoyed using. And then I just placed a couple of articles above their dresser. I was thinking that they are like featured in those articles, or maybe they wrote those articles. I don't really know, but I just feel like it was just something nice to reflect their career. But yeah, that is actually already it for this build. So let's jump into the game and I'll show you the apartment in real time. So here we have number 9 land grab apartments in the game. And do you see what I mean by wonky shape? Like, what is this? What are all these diagonals? It's so weird. And so this bathroom and this hallway were definitely a struggle and a half, and I don't really like how they ended up looking. However, after I made some changes to the hallway, I feel like this looks a lot better. I just added a couple of these large cabinets to make it look like it's a nice coat closet, and we just have this little entryway with a side table and a mirror, a large mirror, and then just some knickknacks, and I combined some rugs to make it work for this weird hallway. So yeah, it's not my favorite room I've ever done, but I do like how it ended up looking. And then we have the large luxury bathroom over here that is also not my favorite, but I tried to make it work as best as I could. So we have this little sink situation over here that I think is really nice. And then we have this bubble bath where you can just sit down and relax and enjoy the view over the city. I thought that was cute. And then we have the talking toilet and a luxury shower. And then also this dresser that I thought was like full of knickknacks and towels and stuff like that. And then over here on this side, we have what I wanted to turn into the laundry room, but since I didn't have laundry day for this build, I turned it into a half bathroom. You could obviously turn it into a full bathroom if you wanted to, but I thought a half bathroom would be a nice addition for this luxury loft. But yeah, moving on to the rest of the apartment, I will just quickly show you that it is actually a loft because we have this lofted second floor, and then look at all of these windows. Isn't this so cool? It's so modern and cool, and I just love these windows. As much as I avoid this building, I do think that this is really, really cool. And then as you can see, I placed curtains everywhere because it might not really make sense, but I feel like they would have like this fancy remote that allows them to like close these curtains up here if they wanted to for some reason. And also I thought it was quite realistic to put these curtains up there because of the acoustics in the apartment. It would be nice to actually have curtains to kind of absorb the sound. Otherwise it would probably just sound very hollow, and I don't know. I can just kind of imagine that would sort of be a problem. So I thought that these curtains up here would kind of make sense, especially if they had like a fancy remote to close and open them with. I thought it was cool. Anyway, going back to the first floor. So when you walk through this large glass door, you enter into the very spacious and luxury kitchen, where I thought that the food critic sim would spend a lot of their time and just cook for their friends, maybe mix up some drinks. I did place some like juice things over here above the counter. We have a double sink situation, and then the stove over here, and also some bar counters. And then over here we have a smaller dining table. So this is the less formal dining table, or like breakfast table, if you will. However, it still already feels kind of grand and luxurious. And then when we walk through this side, we have the main living area. So I placed a nice bookcase over here with some colorful pots for plants. I was really trying to incorporate a little bit of color. As you can see, I also placed these bright pink chairs underneath the staircase. I thought that was a nice detail color scheme wise. But then over here we have the main living area. So I just combined these couches from City Living that I think look really nice, and then these coffee tables, and then a very large TV on this wall. And I placed this light from City Living above it. I came across it a little bit later on, and then I realized that I really needed to use it because it is really cool. I placed a couple of industrial details here and there. You can see by this little pipe over here, and then this light as well. And then over here we have the large dining table. So this one is a lot more spacious, and I was thinking that the Sims living here also use it to just sit down and work, or just hang out with friends, play games, or what have you. And I also placed this large stereo in the corner over here. Then back here we have the food critic's bedroom. This one is on the smaller side, but very, very colorful. They have their little desk situation over here, and then their bed and their dresser. So even though this bedroom is not the biggest, it still feels nice and spacious. And then when we go upstairs, we obviously have the landing area that I turned into a second living area with this large couch. It's just a nice spot to hang out with some friends. I placed an additional bookcase and some chairs. And then over here we have the upstairs bathroom that I did not record. This one has a double sink, as well as a shower and another tub by a window, which I think would be cool, and then a toilet, obviously. Through this door, we have the very bright and colorful bedroom for the politician sim. So I went all out with colors, and I'm really happy that I did. It was way out of my comfort zone, but I love how it ended up looking. It might be a little bit too crazy for some of you guys, and it's definitely not my personal taste either. But for this sim, I could just really see like a very bubbly, lively, cheerful sim that is really fighting for a better world. I don't know. I could just really see her spend time in this bedroom. So I gave her her own TV, and then these demonstration boards on the wall. She also has this nice spacious desk setup that I thought would be fitting for her. And then she has a little bit of a more excessive wardrobe situation over here. So a larger wardrobe area, and then this side table merged into it with some additional clutter. And then over here we have the last bedroom. So once again, this one is also on the more colorful side, but this one feels a little bit darker somehow, probably because of the wall and the rug, but I feel like it looks really cool. So once again, this sim has a double bed, and then they have a nice spacious desk setup as well. I really tried to match this chair with the wall, and I think it looks really cool. Then they have this very colorful painting over here, and then their easel and their dresser over here on this side that I cluttered up with some decorations I thought were fitting. But that is actually it for this luxury loft. So this luxury loft is up on the gallery, but as always with apartments, it's just a little bit difficult to download them. I did have to upload both of the floors separately in 2 separate uploads, and both floors are up on the gallery as a room because that's the only way you can upload apartments. It's very annoying. It's going to be a little bit of a hassle to place these rooms as well, but yeah, they go in number 9 land grab apartments, and so this is the first floor, as you can see. So from my library view, it looks like this. We have the first floor over here, and then we have the second floor right next to it. I mean, look how this looks. It's so wonky. We have floating objects underneath the room and stuff like that. I don't know why it's like that with apartments. It's very annoying. But yeah, the second floor is also up on the gallery. So if you want to download this apartment, just make sure to download and place these 2 rooms separately, and make sure to activate bb.move objects before you place them. That's very important. But that's actually it for this build. So I really really hope that you enjoyed this one. You can obviously go ahead and download it off the gallery like I just showed you. My username on the gallery is Simmarysims. You can also follow me on Twitter and on Instagram if you'd like. My username on there is Simmarysims as well. If you're not subscribed to my channel already, feel free to do so. And if you want to be notified of every single time I upload a video, just click that little bell icon and you should be fine. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!